everybody. I'm just going to break some bread, chop it up, share a little bit of my story. 2007, I came home from the feds, and I ended up, I was parlaying for a minute, taking my time, but eventually I got caught up in the loop. I'm back on the block, blazing formaldehyde, selling rocks, doing what I do, a couple of times got in situations, yawn dirty, had to come up with some fast ideas. So one time, I went to the jump, and I was like at the last minute, so I got a squeezed lemon jump, right? That you put the little squeezed lemon jump, put some hot tea in the jump. Because when you went to the jump that I went to, they ain't watch you nothing. So long story short, I used the lemon jump, and I was like, man, I can't be doing this, man, So what ended up happening, I had an epiphany, man. The epiphany was like, man, you going down that same road. And I knew what it meant to say that I was going down the streets, die in jail, get 100 years, because, I got 3 F's on my jump. I mean, 2. I got 2 F's. I would have been the 3rd jump. They could have did me dirty, dragged me. What ended up happening is that I had to make a decision. Was I going to continue down the road I was going or make an adjustment? So when I did, I started praying to the God of my understanding. It was like, man, I want to help people. And you know what? I heard a voice that said, help yourself. And what I knew what that meant. So I started to read. I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I stopped hustling all on the same day. August 31st, 2009. So every day I was like, man, I'm gonna trust you, God. So what ended up happening, I was already working the job, being in the balance about getting fired because of my, my attitude and my behavior. But I got everything started to level out. And, then I was working a job for several years, and they came up and they let me go. Because they had this type of thing that went on in this job at a warehouse. They had a seasonal job. But when they let me go, they end up giving me severance pay. And plus I had a little bit of 401. So I took the money, they gave me like 4 G's. Usually I go buy me something and, get to come up on that jump. But this time I was like, man, I ain't about that life. So I took the money and went to CDL school. Went to CDL school, got my A license. And then, slowly but surely things just started to change in my life. I wasn't, always looking over my shoulder for the police. Even though that I was doing it so long, sometimes I still, ride past, look in the rearview mirror, but I ain't doing nothing no more. So certain things that used to have me on, on high alert, I'm not on high alert like that anymore. I used to try to go back to the hood and see my mans and them, but I've seen that what I didn't see before. Sometimes you outgrow people, you outgrow situations, and then you got to take responsibility for your own life. Go to the hood, chop it up, talking about the same thing we did 20 years ago. Man, I wasn't getting no growth there. So I would start reading my books, I started studying. I think around 2010, 11, it was like a high frequency on the planet. A lot of information was coming out, man. And if you missed that ride, man, you missed a heck of a joke, man, because it was going down. There was so much energy going in a certain direction, and like my man Stubbs say, you got to catch the wave. I caught the wave, me, Stubbs, my man Marcus, all of us, used to do what we do together, but then, we made some adjustments in our lives, and, we on some other type of time. But I'd say all this to say is that in life, just because you can have a bad start, you don't have to have a destructive finish. And how I'm experiencing life now, I wouldn't trade it in for my former life for nothing in the world. I be trying to tell people, they be like, man, you can do this and this and this and this. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't even like the person that I used to be. I did what I did so I could learn what I learned, and that's, that lesson is over for me. I told myself the bridge is burned. It ain't no way back. The worst things that I think can happen to me if I can get complacent and just get stuck. You know, certain loops, they don't exist in my, you know, in my operation as far as the choices that I'm gonna make. But other loops, they still do, and you know, life is a continuous, you know, situation where so you make adjustments so that your program and your path and the route that you take can take you on the smoother planes in a sense, or take you to higher planes where so that you can be more effective, or you know, in others' lives as well as your lives, and you can be a giver and not be all the time wanting to be a receiver. You know, sometimes we have to receive because, you know, that's the way it's set up. But, you know, yeah, being a giver is good, man. And you ain't got to just give money. You can give your life experience. So everybody got a testimony, and the teachers in the book of Revelation say, man, you know, the gift of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus the Christ, Yahshua HaMashiach. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I had a spiritual experience in my life, and I'm giving credit to where that awakening came from. You know, some people, they get awakened in Islam, and they get awakened in Buddhism and the Vedas and things of that nature. My awakening didn't necessarily come from the church. It came from the teachings, and that's a difference. My awakening came from the power that I experienced in the name of Jesus, Yahshua HaMashiach. And you know, that's my truth, and I'm sticking to it. I don't care what nobody say. I know a lot of people in a lot of schools of thoughts, they do, and I'm not mad at them because I done studied a lot of different schools of thought, and I learned something from all of them. Bible Centers, Nation of Islam, Mormons, the Moors, little bit of what you would call Judaism, the Vedas, Buddhism. Learned from all those, but you know what worked for me to get me where I am, that made me have the type of mind that I have? I got it from the golden compass. My golden compass is the Bible. I learned other things from you know, the three initiatives, the Kabbalion, great book. See, this information comes along, and what a lot of people do, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. But you know what? I couldn't throw the baby out because I'm the baby. See what I'm saying? I'm the baby, you know. I'm still, you know, learning and finding my way through this experience that we call life. Man, I ain't gonna, you know, wrap y'all up like Rap-A-Lot Records. I'm just gonna let it go right there. And you know what? Hope somebody got something from what I said. Yeah, man. Each one teach one, each one preach one, each one seek one.